Guys who make Funyuns on the air for 18
The word
years.
foods is in.
But you remember how the guy likes you so much, and you said some crack about that you wanted to have Funyun flavored soy milk?
Yeah.
And the next thing you know,
It
what
showed up. And it's still in the refrigerator.
It's delicious.
Yeah, take a sip before every show.
Yeah, this stuff expired.
We are so excited to welcome Deanna Jurgens. She is the CEO of Armanino Foods of Distinction Incorporated. Ticker symbol is AMNF, armaninofoods.com. And we welcome her to the Big Biz Show for the very first time ever. Deanna, thank you so much for your time.
Great to be here, guys and gal. Thank you for having me.
Listen, so in conducting due diligence, as we do here, meaning that we read your bio 5 minutes before you got here, totally kidding. You're with Frito-Lay, you're with Beyond Meat, you're with a bunch of Pepsi, which I think is Frito-Lay. How does one get into the foods business like that? Was that your goal when you were young, or did you land in it because of another business? I'm just always curious how people ended in really interesting work like that, because I want to be designing Frito flavors myself if I could. Talk about that a bit.
Yeah, like you, I really liked Funyuns and desire to go work for PepsiCo. You know, I out of college, I got recruited into the consumer packaged goods business and ultimately landed with PepsiCo, where I spent the bulk of my career. And it was amazing experience for 16 years and really got the foundation on how to work in the food business. But I also then kind of got the bug to get a little bit more smaller, closer to the action, and really enjoyed my time with Beyond Meat. I worked directly for Ethan Brown, who was the founder there and the CEO, and he was really a disruptor in the plant-based space, and learned a lot from him, really got into the international side, really worked on food service with McDonald's and Yum and all of these type of businesses. So I spent a lot of my time, and then I went to Bonwell, which is French-owned produce. So I really kind of ticked all the boxes of the grocery store. And
well,
so
I mean, I'd like to say the very least. I mean, you got heritage brands like Pepsi, Frito-Lay, but then if you think about Beyond Meat, and you said disruptor, let's not, I mean, can you remember, I was doing talk radio at the time as well as this. We were doing Afternoon Drive. And I remember it was a topic of conversation for 3 hours. For many, I mean, it really was a disruptor, because it wasn't just that you had these plant-based foods and that people were kind of turning the page on living healthier lifestyles. It was the fact that, crap, this stuff tastes like hamburger. What in the heck is going on here? And it cooked like hamburger. It looked like, I mean, it really was a disruptor. That must have been really interesting, even inside of investors coming and knocking on your doors, correct?
It was, and I think it was interesting because I'm a vegetarian, so trying the products, it kind of messes with your mind, because like you said,
because you felt bad about it because you thought you were eating meat.
My body was like, what are you putting in me? But yeah, it was an amazing experience, and working directly for a founder who kind of created a category like that.
Right.
You learn a lot about taking risks and, you know, pushing yourself into spaces that you haven't been before. So when I got the opportunity to come over here, I felt ready, and I was really excited by this business. I'm sure you saw a little bit of our P&L and our history, and it's an amazing business and business model, and it's been a great time.
It's really, but what's really interesting is Armanino is really a focused based product. I mean, you guys are not just a food company; you are a basil pesto brand food company. Yeah. And this is and what I equate this to, and you've heard me say this analogy before. If you have 25,000 people in the world that like to knit cat sweaters, and that's all you got, they'd probably pay you $20 a month for a newsletter about knitting cat sweaters. There's nothing wrong with being targeted, because then you have enthusiasts buying, and then you have also, then you can also, you know, catch an algorithm and have everybody else start trying your food. Talk about being so narrow in scope in terms of Frito, Pepsi had a lot of brands. You guys have this basically sort of a narrow scope, but you guys are killing it in this one space. Was that surprising to you?
No. So what I would say is I would consider us to be specialists.
Okay, that makes sense.
We're not just basil pesto, we are pesto and sauce. So we have about 30 different sauces that we sell, but we also have pasta, we do have meatballs, but really where we specialize and focus is sauces. And I think, we're one of the best at what we do. We have been in the business for, quite a while. And so when you go and talk to chefs and restaurants and those within food service, they know who Armanino is. They know our quality. They know our consistency. And we've had tremendous success within the food service channel.
Hey, Deanna, I've got to ask a question. It's coming in as under a refresh management model. You're the new CEO. And
Yes.
we've had, over the 30 years you've been on radio and 20 years you've been on television here. The interesting part about CEOs, you've got a really difficult job walking into a position as a CEO because number one, you got to know who your best clients are. Number two, you got to know where the fat is and have to trim that. But number three, you've got to come with a plan to deploy growth. How hard has that been in this case? Was it easier than expected? And what's the velocity of how things are moving on for you?
I agree. I did not take this job until I looked at it and said, can I come in and make a difference here? And what can I do differently than what's been done in the past? And I think the board was really looking for someone with commercial background and to say, we really want to put a focus on driving top line. So how do we get more coming into the funnel? We've done an amazing job at managing cost and managing the bottom part of the P&L. So how do we start to accelerate the top line? So for me, looking at what the company has been doing and how they have been growing, which has been successful and it's been a great track record. But for me, I brought my experiences with national accounts where I've spent most of my time in my career within food service. So think Chipotle, Yum, McDonald's, Subway, all of these large customers that we as a company have never called on. We've never played a role with them, is a big opportunity for us. And the second is international. So we have a very small international business in Asia that's really just kind of been there for a long time with not a lot of focus. So how do we take, the continued acceleration in the US, but how do we start to expand in some of these areas that we as a company really haven't gone after? So from a top line standpoint, those felt like immediate areas of opportunity that we can really accelerate. So those are some of my early thoughts coming into the company.
God, I'm starving. Deanna Jurgens, CEO, Armanino Foods of Distinction Incorporated. Oh, I can't even talk. I'm so hungry. AMNF is their ticker symbol.
Hey, Deanna, we were talking about disrupting, and I'm just looking at these notes, and I see a partnership with Dunkin'. Is that like Dunkin' Donuts? And you have well, they do more than donuts because they did a tomato pesto grilled cheese. And that is just an example of what you're doing, partnering with these big brands. And I mean, I'm signed up. Speaking of, I'm starving too. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I will say that is the one LTO, limited time offering, we did do back in 2022. And what I will say for Dunkin' is it was their most successful LTO that they had ever done up until that point. Jeez. So that was an example of success that we can have, and how do you break into, kind of a larger level. But that's the only one we've done. But we had amazing success with it.
So Deanna, that's just another revenue pipeline by partnering, and then all of a sudden, I would argue, is they're one of their most popular things. Now they're dependent upon you, and now that it seems to me like if you dip your toe in that area, are there other like us kids say, collabs coming up in this, or is it better just to stick with the no pun intended meat and potatoes business of doing what you guys are best at? Because I think that's brilliant personally.
Well, I think that, if you look at the younger generation, they are really looking to experiment in flavor and heat and spice levels. And so sauce is a very natural way for them to enter into these categories. But as we're talking to these large national accounts, what we're saying is, like, you could put a basil pesto on your existing menu, and it could materially change the experience for your consumers. It could bring new consumers into your doors. So our product really enables customers to differentiate with not a lot of difference, if you will, like for their frontline, for their operators. So it packs a huge punch. And we have incredible culinary expertise and can work directly with these national accounts. So if we don't make it today, we will customize it for them and for their menus. So there's just a lot of opportunity to go get.
Hey, where are you located? Where are you guys located? What part of the
We're in
country are you?
Northern California.
You're where?
Northern California.
You gotta get him. You gotta get her in San
Yeah.
Diego. You gotta be. I mean, we can talk about food all day, and Mike has a
Bring
couple
tomato
ideas.
pesto grilled cheese with you, though.
And basil pesto is my new street name, by the way.
A flaming hot Cheeto meatball. I mean, can you do
There we
that?
go. I gotta get Funyuns in here somewhere.
Yes. Deanna, please come back on the show. Deanna Jurgens, CEO, Armanino Foods of Distinction Incorporated, AMNF is the ticker symbol. Oh my God, I'm hungry.